we're going live. Welcome to Mommy Academy.
Thanks for watching.
Today we're going to continue reading from our Jesus Storybook Bible by
Sally Boy Jones.
Very good. Sally Lloyd Jones wrote a beautiful Jesus Storybook Bible that we've been enjoying, and we highly recommend that you pick up a copy for your family, read along with us or with your children. Okay, so what happened in our Jesus Storybook Bible last time?
Jesus got rid of Satan.
Well, he said no to Satan, right? Did he have his kind face on? Or did he have his brave face on?
He had his brave face.
That's right. That's right. And then Jesus needed some helpers to help do what God sent him to do. Did he choose the smartest and the richest people to help him? No. He chose people who had hearts, who wanted to do something that would help Jesus, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and continue reading about what Jesus is doing in the secret rescue plan. Now, tomorrow is a very special day.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, we're celebrating Good Friday, which is when we think about when Jesus died on the cross. But did he stay dead?
No.
No. So stay tuned. We're going to be doing a special Mommy Academy for Good Friday and Easter, and we hope that you can join us. So today's story is called A Little Girl and a Poor Frail Lady, the story of Jairus' daughter from Luke 8. And here's the picture. There's a little girl on the bed. She doesn't look very well. Let's read. There once was a little girl who didn't get out of bed one morning, or the next, or the next. In fact, she didn't get out of bed for a whole month. She was very sick, and no one knew how to make her better. Jairus was her daddy, and he loved her. One day, he was sitting by her bed, holding her hand, wishing there was something that he could do. "I know," he said, and he jumped to his feet, put on his cloak, kissed his daughter, and ran down the steps past the servants out of the house, through the gates, along the road, into the town, up the steps, and into the temple. He fought his way through all the people until at last he found what he was looking for. What do you think he was looking for?
Jesus.
That's a good guess. "Jesus," he said. Falling at Jesus' feet. "My daughter," he pleaded, "please." But he didn't need to beg, because before he'd finished speaking, Jesus reached out his hand and helped him up. "I'll come at once," Jesus said. Jairus' eyes filled with tears. Jesus was coming. It would be all right. In those days, of course, they didn't have ambulances, so they had to go by foot. Jesus' helpers knew that he would heal the sick girl, but they must hurry. If Jesus didn't get there soon, it would be too late. Next picture. But everyone was in the way, hustling and bustling, jostling and pressing, pushing and shoving, squishing and squashing. The disciples ran ahead, forcing back the crowd. Suddenly, Jesus stopped. His friend looked back. What was he doing? "Who touched me?" Jesus asked, because he felt power go out of him. "Me," said a frail lady, looking down at the ground because she was ashamed. The poor lady had been sick for 12 years, and she had to get well. She knew if she only touched Jesus' coat, she would be healed. So she touched his coat, and instantly she was well. "We don't have time," Jesus' friend said. But Jesus always had time. He reached out his hand and gently lifted her head. He looked into her eyes and smiled. "You believed," he said, wiping a tear from her eye. "And now you are well." Just then, Jairus' servant rushed up to Jairus. "It's too late," he said breathlessly. "Your daughter is dead." Jesus turned to Jairus. "It's not too late. Trust me." At Jairus' house, everyone was crying, but Jesus said, "I'm going to wake her up." Everyone laughed at him because they knew she was dead. Do dead people wake up?
No.
Not unless Jesus wants them to, I guess, huh? Let's find out. Jesus walked into the little girl's bedroom, and there, lying in the corner, in the shadows, was a still figure. Jesus sat on the bed and took her pale hand. "Honey," he said, "it's time to get up." And he reached down into death and gently brought the little girl back to life. The little girl woke up and rubbed her eyes as if she just had a good night's sleep and leapt out of bed. Jesus threw open the shutters and sunlight flooded in the dark room. "Hungry?" Jesus asked. She nodded. Jesus called to her family. "Bring this little girl some breakfast." Jesus helped and healed many people like this. He made blind people see. He made deaf people hear. He made lame people walk. Jesus made the sad things come untrue. He was mending God's broken world. Oh, how does that story make you feel?
I feel happy.
Yeah, that's a beautiful story. Wow, Jesus was so incredible when he was able to walk on earth. And don't forget, he's still here for us today. All we have to do is say a prayer to him, and he's right there with us. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. Please like, please share, please subscribe. We'd like to bring as much value to as many children and educators as possible. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.